baseball card fever. I really got baseball card fever. It started with my very first pack.
Hey, what is up, collectors? Diego here to take you on another sports cards detour. And this detour here is going to be taking you through some of the wrestling cards. You dig it, brother? Yeah. I had to go with it. You know, you had to do some type of angry wrestling voice, and that was mine. I don't know how it came off, but it is what it is, and it's going to stay that way. So, guys, what I have here is some of my wrestling cards. Most of these cards are the superstar cards. Basically, it's just them, no moment in time and stuff like that. I do have a few of them in here, but not too many. You'll probably see Bobby Roode rookie card in there several times because I had so many. I kept on just putting them in different pages. It's kind of random. It's per pack as I buy them. So let's say like this pack here, these cards all came out of the same pack, so I just threw them into a binder page and threw it in a book. So we'll just flip through it so you guys can enjoy some of the stuff that I have. We'll do this side first, and then we'll flip back the other way. So don't worry about this side right now, unless you see somebody. Basically, wrestling, we've always watched wrestling in my family. Around Thanksgiving, the Survivor Series was always a big thing. I remember some of the highlights of my memories for wrestling was watching my aunt just go crazy when the Hulkster was getting his ass beat, and then he'd come back and she'll be like, dale maduro, which is like, hit him harder, go ahead, get him, get that, you know, and she'll curse. And I always thought it was great. You know, I actually really like wrestling. I used to collect the old wrestling cards and the figures, like thumb wrestlers and stuff like that, when I was younger. And the wrestling passion was probably, I used to like wrestling before baseball. You know, wrestling was everything. I watched wrestling with my dad. I remember we used to my dad would say, nah, I don't like WWF. I like the wrestling from Florida better, which meant the Southern Territories where Ric Flair was working in the NWA. So that's where you take it back. My dad actually told me that in Camden, he's had drinks with Andre the Giant, and he said his hand was humongous, and the guy can put away some beer. I thought that was pretty cool. Rest in peace, Luke Harper, aka Brody Lee, or trying to remember what his real name is. I think I'm not sure if it's Brody Lee or not, but rest in peace. He passed away not too long ago. There's Liv Morgan right there, and Tommaso Ciampa. Pretty cool. Yeah, so we follow wrestling for a long time. I remember like just watching like all the pay-per-views at my uncle's house, because my uncle had the great job, and he can afford all the pay-per-views and the Mike Tyson fights and stuff like that. And when my son came along, my son became a big wrestling fan, and we got into SmackDown versus Raw video games. I have a collection of those video games and also the action figures. My son really liked them, and being that I have a collecting type mentality, I just kept on buying them some and buying them some. Well, let me correct myself. I have the hoarding mentality, so I kept on buying them, and we have like they're all loose. We used to do stop motion videos, but we probably had like 2 tubs full of wrestlers, open product, and it was just fun to play with my son in something that we both enjoy. And we used to do a draft and kind of pick. And what's really cool is when I was taking a little break from doing the baseball videos and stuff like that, and I was also watching like other stuff, and I found Zack Ryder. his real name's not coming to me. And Kurt Hawkins, they're big wrestling action figure collectors, and they get a lot of stuff. And I was listening to their podcasts and stuff like that. There's Kurt Hawkins right there. Listening to their podcast, I thought it was pretty cool that they were collecting, but they do, when they collect, they kept everything in the packages. Well, most of them in packages. Zack Ryder, he actually likes to. Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona is really Zack Ryder. Matt Cardona, he likes to actually there's Zack Ryder right there. Matt Cardona. He actually likes to take the figures out and, and enjoys them as he would in his youth. And I think that's pretty cool. But I definitely had a good time with playing with my son with all these stuff here. Here's some older cards right here, down here. The classic WWF, Bobby the Brain Heenan. Used to love him, especially when he couldn't get into Raw. I love that whole bit. I loved him and Gorilla Monsoon together. I always thought that was pretty cool. So we'll see what was on the back of some of these here. Flip it to the back side. And I haven't done much in wrestling collecting, card collecting, because my collection's really all over the place. As you can see, I go from hockey to wrestling to baseball. Well, baseball prominent. Baseball, football, basketball. It's probably weaker than my hockey is right now. But yeah, we. Oh, Mandy Rose. Sorry, she took my attention away. Mandy Rose right there. Now I forgot what I said. Oh yeah, wrestling would have a bigger part if I went and bought more wrestling cards at the time, but I really didn't. I would pick one up here and there if they were on sale or in the clearance aisle at Walmart. And now of course you can't find any. Now that you want to start collecting, and I found more people who enjoy the wrestling now or to share. You're kind of like, oh man, now I can't even find any, which is the bad thing. There's Gorilla Monsoon. I remember Big John Studd. Man, that brings back some memories right there. I do watch some of the current product, mostly Raw. SmackDown I tend to miss a lot, but I mostly watch Raw. I hear SmackDown's doing better. I do get NXT on occasion, and I do watch Impact, but via YouTube. I usually watch their highlights and see what's going on. AEW, I haven't really gotten into. I know, I think it's just because I keep on missing them. But I'm not like, oh, wrestling has to be a certain. I take it for what it is. It's a show. It entertains me, and that's what I'm entertained. I'm not going to sit there and say, hey, like this guy needs to be pushed, that guy needs to be pushed. I really don't care. Like. Whoever's being pushed is being pushed, and whoever's not is not. I don't decide those things, so it has no bearing. I just try and enjoy what I enjoy and just give them props for what they do, no matter if they're the suckiest guy on the roster or the best guy on the roster. And man, these guys try and bring it all, Well, Eva Marie is making her comeback. Kind of like, what the hell about that? But there's some pretty cool things, some pretty cool concepts. I always took wrestling as comic book superheroes come to life type of thing, because everybody was larger than they're large. Like, especially in WWE, a lot of these guys were really big guys. They were the biggest guys in the gym, and Vince McMahon always had these guys front and center for his wrestling promotion. And nowadays he gets to the smaller guys, which is pretty cool too. And what they do is very athletic and stuff like that. But that's just how I saw wrestling. It was all I knew it was all staged, but it was just fun to watch, and it's still fun to watch sometimes. I don't get to catch it all the time because usually my TV's on Nickelodeon and stuff like that, Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, or YouTube for most part of the day and all kids stuff. But when I do get a chance to watch wrestling, I usually watch it. It's usually on the background of when I'm watching the um, 3B collectibles and Kin Bean Card Blogs, their show on 3B Collectibles channel. Um, I'll have wrestling on in the background, and I have to take off my glasses and put on my glasses to switch on what I'm watching because I'm watching them by my phone so I can communicate, and then the TV has wrestling on. So that's usually my Monday, and plus my daughter's at dance class, so I really get to have some at the beginning hour. I get to have some downtime with some wrestling, but I definitely like wrestling, and that's one of my. If I could collect more, I would. I just haven't been able to find any to really go and collect. I also have some WCW cards, which is pretty cool. Maybe I'll show those one time too. But for now, this is what you get to see. Thanks for watching. Peace out, collectors.